In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some simple properties or features of for loops. If you watched the previous video, you know that for loops are used when we know pretty much how many times we want to do something. For example, we know we want to print a message 10 times. We might not know the exact number, but we might let the user somehow enter the number of times we do something, or we might have calculated it. But in any way, by the time we get to the loop, the program has access to the knowledge of how many times we want to do something. I'm going to start with just a simple for loop that prints the word hello 5 times. I'm going to say for x. X is my loop counter in this case. In the range, if I can spell range there, 5. I put a colon because that lets it know that everything that's indented under this will be done as part of the loop. Print hello. Okay. So let's review what this says to do. This says I'm going to use a variable called x, and it's going to count how many times I've done this. Just as you would if you were writing down the word hello 5 times, you would count in your mind, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This says as long as I'm in the range, starting at 1 and going to 5, continue in the loop. I'm going to call my main function here, and let's go ahead and try to run this. And you can see that it printed the word hello 5 times. Go ahead and move that over so we can watch what's going on here. If I wanted to do it more times, I would change this. If I go to 10 here and then run, you will see this time I printed hello 10 times. So not so exciting. One additional feature in the range function here is I can say I'd like to do it from counting from 3 to 10 or something like that. In order to really see what's going on there, I'm going to print the value of x as I go through the loop. You go ahead and close these windows so that I have a nice clean output window here. When I run it this time, I know it's going to do something 10 times. Let's see what it does. It printed the numbers 0 through 9. That's a little surprising. A lot of people would think it would print the numbers 1 through 10. What Python does is if we give it a range of 10, it starts at 0 and does it as long as it is less than 10. If I wanted to print the numbers from 1 to 10, I would have to do something different. So already we've seen that we can use x here to count the times through the loop, how many times we want to go through a loop, and we can also use it inside the loop if it has some meaning for us. In this case, it wasn't much meaning, but it was just counting the numbers. Notice if I change this to a 1, 10 and run my program, you'll see over here that it prints the numbers 1 through 9. And again, it is stopping when x reaches 10. So it will do it as long as x is less than 10, and we gave it a start. The difference between those two loops were when we don't give it a starting value, when we give it just one number in the range function, it starts at 0. When we give it 2 numbers, it will start at this one, at the first one, and it will count until it is 10. So it will go as long as it is less than 10. If I wanted to display the numbers 1 through 10, I would go here. I would say starting at 1, and as long as it is less than 11, then display the number. Okay. A third number that you can put into the range is you can put a third value, and that is how much it is counting by. So this says start at 1 as long as it's less than 10 and counting by 2. So let's run this one. Notice over here in the output it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Again, it started at 1, it counted by 2's, and it went as long as it remained less than 10. In general, for loops are going to be used to repeat an action a set number of times.